The Mozilla Festival gathered people from across the globe at the Ravensbourne College in London between the 4th and the 6th of November. With over 2 days of keynotes, workshops and challenges, hundreds of passionate people explored the frontiers of the open web. The Mozilla Festival is famous for trying to change the world with groundbreaking projects, and this year's edition was no exception. The highlight of the weekend was for us the creation of the Data Journalism Handbook, a project coordinated by the European Journalism Centre and the Open Knowledge Foundation. 55 contributors gathered during a 2-day workshop to create what would be the first collaborative guide to data journalism ever released. It was amazing to see so many experts from various media organizations get together for the occasion. Among the contributors were data journalists and experts from The Guardian, The New York Times and other media organizations, but also programmers and developers from various countries. Jonathan Gray, the community manager of the Open Knowledge Foundation, gave a short presentation of what the project was about and explained to us the intention behind this challenge.
Basically, the idea is to create a simple, easy-to-use resource that would help ordinary journalists understand how they can use data to improve what they normally do and what they want to do anyway, which is to sort of produce reportage for the public. I think we want to basically make it easier for them to understand what data is available, what tools they can use to work with data, how they can visualize data sets, and how they can integrate that with sort of existing workflows they have in their news organization.
One of the challenges that Gray and his team will face during this project is how to make it age gracefully, so that the material doesn't date over the years and therefore remain pertinent to the people who work in data journalism.
I think the thought is at the moment that if we provide sort of insight into conceptually how to work with data and what types of things are possible using data sets, rather than focusing on giving very specific example about how to use particular tools, that will remain of interest.
Every participant agreed that the creation of a manual to data journalism could be crucial in teaching journalists how to work with data and could effectively make a huge difference in newsrooms worldwide, as data journalist and former researcher at the Bureau of Investigative Journalism, Kailin Barr, explains.
It could be vital, having a handbook that really explains to journalists how you can approach data journalism from scratch with no knowledge, prior knowledge of how to do it. It could be fantastic, especially if it's online.
It was amazing to see how motivated people were into sharing their experience and knowledge in data journalism. Aaron Pilofa is the editor of interactive news at the New York Times. During the Mozilla Challenge, he ran a section gathering tips on how newsrooms can produce data-driven applications.
As somebody who's been doing journalism for a very long time and working with data for a very long time, both as a print reporter and online, I can say for certain that a project like this is quite necessary, and it's kind of surprising that someone hasn't tried to do this until now. So a collaborative kind of book, a manual maybe, to kind of tell people how to do data-driven journalism and sort of best practices. I think it's a great idea. I mean, we have a fairly broad swath of folks, some who are very, very technical, some who are not very technical, but it's great because you get a lot of different perspectives.
Over the 2 days at the Mozilla Festival, the 55 contributors split into groups and wrote more than 60 pages. That's over 20,000 words broken down in 6 chapters. The workshop was a real success. Everyone from designers to journalists really worked beyond expectations and proved how much collaborative projects like this can achieve. Everyone who took part in this workshop seemed delighted by the experience they had over the weekend.
And it's really interesting to kind of get all these different people together and try to kind of find the relevant questions that we need to answer for journalists. And I'm more and more beginning to be excited about it, because I think that if journalists do want to keep up with the information kind of bomb that is landing on us, they need to learn coding, they need to learn some bits of data analysis, of data slicing techniques, and that I think we can supply them with quite easily, and that will make much better journalism and will much better accountability, basically.
The section I was in was about getting data, which is about, if you're going to do data journalism, obviously it's something you have to get some data from somewhere, and it's quite interesting because it's a mixture of what's technically possible with what you need for the story. So there's this communication question of how do you convey what you need to someone more technical, and how do they then use that to find it in a way that's useful?
Well, I found that because our skill set were very different and our knowledge base was very different, I found it interesting to sort of be challenged, but also to challenge them, to be able to explain to me exactly what they did and how they did it and how I could learn it as well.
The Mozilla Festival gave a good kickstart to the project, but there is still a lot to be done. Both the Open Knowledge Foundation and the European Journalism Centre were not expecting such an avid contribution. Experts and other data enthusiasts will keep on adding content to the draft put together at the festival over the next few weeks, with further interviews and case studies. The coordinators will be editing the handbook over the next few weeks, and a first version will be released in the coming month.